Hi, welcome or welcome back. This question is, what is the Ask Gemini button that now shows up in Drive? Yeah, so basically Google and a lot of the major vendors, but definitely Google is just slowly adding their AI tools to kind of everything. And this is just kind of the next example. So if you use Google Drive, you will likely see that now there is this little Ask Gemini that pops up. You have to be in a folder. So if you're just on like the home screen or certain different areas in here that it's not specifically a folder, you won't see this. But as soon as you go into a folder, so I'm in my drive and in this folder, the Ask Gemini pops up. And the little description here, you can do, summarize, analyze, and get up to speed with files in this folder. You can basically, I mean, this probably isn't the best example. I only have one file in here, but you can have as many files as you want in this folder, and you can now have conversations with whatever's in that folder. So instead of what used to just be, it'll give you, like, you can search in Drive before and it would just give you kind of the name of the file, and then you'd have to kind of figure stuff out. Maybe you don't remember the name of the file. Maybe you just know that, let's say it's like your meeting minutes. You're like, oh, I know we talked about, this thing at some point in the last month, but I don't know where. You can now just go into Ask Gemini and then it can find that within your file. So if you click on this Ask Gemini, it actually brings up a different interface. And it's kind of familiar if you've used the Google AI tools before, but it's still a little different. And it's kind of a combination of like the Gemini app and NotebookLM, sort of. So on this side here, you actually have your sources, and this is the folder that I was in. And then I can click on the add here, and then this will open up Google Drive basically. And I can pick any other folders that I want and any other documents that I want to add here. And it will basically ground this conversation in these sources, again, a la NotebookLM, where it's not going to go out to the web unless I ask it to, but I can just limit whatever I prompt in here just to the sources that I pick. If you have a bunch of things and it recognizes kind of correlations to other files or folders, it'll put them here under suggested. Again, I only have one file in this folder, so there's really not much for it to work with. But for some of my other folders where I have dozens or hundreds of files, like this suggested is just kind of crazy. And then you also have search settings here. And this is basically if you don't want it to stay grounded in just these sources. So this is a bunch of other Google tools here. So if you want it to use Drive search, if you want it to go through your Gmail, which again, how many hundreds, thousands of emails do all of us have in our Gmail account? If you use Google Chat, you can search through Chat. If you use Google Calendar, you can go through Calendar. And then if you do want it to go out to the web, you can click on Web Search. So you have a lot of control over what your sources of truth are for whatever you're going to prompt. And then once you have everything over here, once you have your sources set up, then you can just come over here to the chat interface, and it's going to have an AI overview of your selected sources. I generally don't find these very useful, but choose your path. If you do, you can read through that, and then if you want to export the overview to docs, you can export it and then work with that. I honestly don't know why you do that, but if you want to, you can. You can save it as a project, which goes out to Gemini. It's a whole separate thing, but then the whole thing here is just you can select your sources and then prompt them for something. So again, if these are meeting minutes and you're just like, hey, find the meeting where we talked about, I don't know, Volkswagen, so whatever it is, find the meeting where we talked about that thing. You can prompt it in here, and then it'll go through your sources and then give you whatever back. Or if it's not in your sources and you selected, web search, for example, it'll go out and search the web. It has a couple of just suggested prompts to put in there. Again, that might be useful. Usually it's not. If you're going to use this, you usually have an idea of what you're going to prompt it with, but maybe you don't. So there are a couple of suggestions here, and then this just opens or collapses your sources. And then the only tool right now is Nano Banana. I don't know which one it is. I think it's Nano Banana 2, but I'm not positive. But I'm guessing, just based off of Gemini and other things, that once this comes out of beta, they're going to have more tools in here. Maybe Canvas, maybe deep research. I don't know, but I'm guessing that if they call this tools plural, there's not just going to be one. I don't know, but in short, again, there's a lot that you can actually do in here, and I think your use case is going to really dictate what you care about in here. So I'm not going to go too deeply into this, but basically, if you're in a folder in Google Drive, and this is drive.google.com. If you already use Google Drive, you're probably in here all the time. If you don't use it, you probably haven't watched this far in the video because you don't care. But drive.google.com, and then you get to your drive, and then once you go into a folder, you're going to have this Ask Gemini option. And if you click on it, you get a different interface. You can identify which sources are your quote unquote sources of truth, and then you can decide if you want to add other areas where Gemini can search for information. And then you can prompt for whatever you want. You can maybe summarize this thing. You can maybe search for a specific, quote or thing that you want. You can analyze information that's in there. You can have things rewritten. You can have things written for the first time. You can use the only tool that's in here now and generate images. Very similar to what you would have with a Gemini or NotebookLM interface. I think if you use those tools already, this might be kind of redundant. You can already go into Gemini, and then you can add files from Drive. Or you can come into NotebookLM, and then let's just say you're adding a source. You can add sources from Drive. So I don't know that it's really going to be that useful if you already use those tools. I think this is really useful if you don't use those tools. If you only use Drive and you haven't really tried this AI stuff, and then now it's just like, oh, well, hey, what's this thing? I think this will be really useful for the people who haven't tried those tools yet, because it's right here. And if you have an immediate problem, or you can't find something, or you don't remember something, or you need it to summarize or whatever, and you can just pop in here and then like, hey, summarize this file, and then you get really useful feedback. Now you might be like, hey, maybe I should try these other tools. So I think this is really useful for the people who don't already use Gemini or NotebookLM or ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or whichever AI tools, because it's in a tool that a lot of people already use. But who knows? I mean, obviously use cases are different. What you care about is very different from what I might think you care about. So try this out if it's interesting to you. You don't really have to do much. It's right here. If you're in Drive, as soon as you go into folder, this kind of pops up. I don't think at this point you can turn it off. A lot of their AI features right now, especially the new ones, they make it so even if you can turn it off, it just turns itself back on. But I don't think you can turn this off right now, so you can either ignore it or use it, I guess. See if it's interesting for you. Ask us questions if you have them, and we will see you next time.